What's going on YouTube? It's Red from Metagang, and today we actually have a deck update for you guys. And went from being Invoked Shaddoll Kaiju to being more of a sped up version of Shaddoll Invoked. So we took out the Kaijus and instead we put in Mech Knights. So yeah, as we get around to the Mech Knights, just bear with me please, I'm begging you, because I'm not 100% on their effects on what they do, but try to be as accurate as I can before I read them. So starting off, we go with our Alistair the Invoker, 3 of them. Woohoo. Normal summon this card, you get to search a invocation from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your hand, you can not banish it, but you can send it from your hand to the graveyard and target any fusion monster you control and gain 1,000 attack and defense. For the Shaddolls, we play triple Windy. Windy, when you flip summon it, you special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck, face up or face down. If this card is sent to the grave by card effect, you get to special summon a Shaddoll monster face down. We'll explain later on in the video with a combo tutorial about cards of ratio and reasonings. So we play 2 Schemata. I would actually like 3 in the deck. I really want to try to push for 3, but I feel like 2 is an okay ratio right now. Like, it's a card you want to see, but you don't want to see it like all the time. So being able to flip it, you can target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. Cool. Sent from field to graveyard, you can send any Shaddoll monster from your deck to grave. Another 2 of that we play is 2 Aerial. You flip Aerial, you target one of your banished Shaddoll monsters, special summon it face up, face down, defense. Okay, sweet. So this is going to be your combo extender. Again, when I get into the combo later on, I'll show you guys why. This card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, target up to 3 cards in any player's graveyard, banish them. Okay, cool, so we have a little bit of interruption on our opponent's turn. Also, 2 Hedgehog, you flip Hedgehog, you search for a Shaddoll spell or trap, you send Hedgehog to grave by card effect, you get to search for a Shaddoll monster. 2 Beast, flip Beast, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. You send it by card effect, you get to draw a card. 1 Dragon, flip, target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand, so you can send like a spell or trap or a monster, whatever. If this card is sent by card effect, target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it. So get rid of those problematic floodgates. For our Mech Knights, we play 2 Indigo Eclipse. All the Mech Knights have the effect of if there are 2 or more cards in the same column. So say your opponent has a Link monster in the extra monster zone, and then a spell or trap face down, and you have the monster zone on your side free, you get to special summon it within the same column. So with Indigo Eclipse, you can target any Mech Knight monster and move it to another column. Purple Nightfall, you special summon it, and then you can banish another Mech Knight monster you control, and then you add a Mech Knight monster from your deck to your hand except himself. Blue Sky, if this card is summoned, you get to add Mech Knight monsters from your deck to your hand equal to the amount that your opponent has in the same column that he is summoned in. Orange Sunset, if a opponent's card in this column is destroyed by battle or leaves the field, you get to special summon a Mech Knight monster from your hand. And then we play 1 Red Moon to banish a Mech Knight monster from the graveyard, target 1 face-up monster in this card's column, and destroy it. Going into our spells and traps, we have, of course, the triple Shaddoll Fusion. Real good card going first, more powerful going second, being able to fuse from your hand and your deck both. The only thing that sucks is Ash Blossom. You run into it, it's kinda, yeah, you're screwed. 2 L Shaddoll Fusion. So this is another way to fuse on your opponent's turn also if you want to interrupt. During the battle phase also if you want to push for more damage. Or if you're in the middle of chaining with your opponent and you realize that they're getting ready to special summon more than once, you can activate that face down and make window. Again, kind of like interruption play. You can fuse any Shaddoll Fusion monster from your extra deck by using your hand or field as material, of course. We play 2 Meltdown. If I had a third one, I'd play a third one, but I don't. So yeah, 2. When it's activated, search out Alistair, and then after that, your opponent cannot activate anything in response to your fusion summoning cards like Invocation, Shaddoll Fusion, Super Polymerization, Shaddoll Fusion, even Schism. Speaking of which, we play 1 Invocation. Yeah, you fusion summon cards from your hand or field. You can also banish the materials from graveyard, and if you're making a invoked monster, you have to banish Alistair. Those cards on your grave, you can target your banished Alistair, add it to hand, shuffle it back into the deck. Cool. Recyclable fusion card that we can search out. 1 Book of the Law. This would be a second invocation if I had it, but I don't, so I play the 1 as a tech. You contribute any invoked monster, and then special summon 1 invoked monster from your extra deck with a different attribute. We are running pretty solid super poly targets, so we're going to be running 2 of those, being able to discard and then fusion summon using monsters from your field or your opponent's or both. We play as a little tech card 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. Either if you draw into both, you can get rid of the other and draw 2 cards. So you're pretty much replacing both of these with 2 new ones. Or if your opponent were to Ash Blossom or Effect Veiler your Alistair, instead of doing your link plays, you can instead hit the Knowledge and draw 2. We're sending a lot of cards to the graveyard, and sometimes to fix your hand, you're going to have to literally just dump your whole hand, combo off, and hope to God that your next draw is going to be good. But with a Pot of Avarice, we can actually cycle back the cards that we wasted to attempt to fix our hand, so we have our combo back and our play starters back. 1 Terraforming just to search for the Meltdown, 1 Foolish just in case if we don't see the Squamata or Windy, or a way to necessarily get those guys to grave, we have a way to dump them. Again, just another combo card purpose, or an extender depending on how you see it. For traps, we play the 1 Shaddoll Incarnation to special summon 1 Shaddoll monster from our graveyard, face up or face down. Or you can banish this card and a Shaddoll monster, target a face down monster you control, flip it face up, or a face up monster you control, flip it face down. 1 Schism, being able to banish the materials from your graveyard to fusion summon a Shaddoll fusion monster. And then on the resolution, if your opponent has the element face up on the field of the same Shaddoll monster that you make, you get to send it to the grave. So, going into the extra deck, of course, we have the 1 Owl Mirage. This is the first card that you would link off into for your combo again, go into it later. Secure Gardener, so that way you have your light target for your Construct and or Macabre again. These 3 cards mainly play a combo purpose, but we also play the Gravity Controller to bounce stuff back from our opponent's extra monster zone, and it can't be destroyed by battle by the main monster zone. Then we have the 1 Alistair, so if our opponent somehow screws us over some way, somehow, of getting our invocation, we would make this guy fusion summon, and then search out our invocation using this, and then continue on with our plays. Or we can get our Book of the Law instead, and then if this card would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, by an opponent's card effect, I'm sorry, you can search for an Omega Summon from your deck to your hand. 1 Cross Sheep to build up into our Link 4, and typically I play Appaloosa. I like having the monster negation against my opponent to pair up with the Macabre, but if you want to run other stuff, I recommend cards like Boral Sword, Abomination, you know, just your typical power Link 4 cards. For our fusions, we have the 2 Shaddoll windows, so can't be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Sweet. Raigeki can't touch it, Mirror Force can't touch it. Shit like that. Alright. Each player only gets 1 special summon, so yeah, good luck trying to combo off D-Link. All Shaddoll fusion monsters have the ability, if they are sent to the graveyard, to get to search for a Shaddoll spell or trap. I mean, not that. You get to add a Shaddoll spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. My bad. We play 2 Construct, so whenever Construct is special summoned, guys, keep that in mind for when I get to the combo. You get to dump any Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. And then again, Centigrave, Shaddoll, Spell, or Trap to the hand. We play the 1 App Cologne. App Cologne is kind of a tricky one to play in some scenarios, but it does pop up where it's going to be perfect timing for you to make it. So if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card on the field and negate its effects. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then discard 1 card. For our invoked monsters, we play Concoctus, being able to attack in defense position, but its attack is applied. Also, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. 1 Macabre, being able to discard the same card. If it's a spell, I would discard a spell, trap, discard trap, monster, discard monster, negate the activation, and then I would banish that card. 1 Raging, sometimes being able to Book of Moon stuff, like your own monsters, to get their flip effects primed after they've been flipped up, or if they got stuck special summoned face up and you want to flip them down, you can. Or if you really want to interrupt on your opponent and be funny to play this, then you can flip their stuff down. And then we play the 1 Kaliga to pretty much lock out the first monster effect that would happen for both players. So it's beneficial, but also it'll hurt you at the same time. Kaliga and Winda make a amazing lock, which that's the only reason why I would recommend running Kaliga. So yeah, for the combo for this is going to be a little 2-card combo with any way to fuse throughout your Shaddoll route. You can use Windy instead of the Squamata, but for essential purposes we'll be using Squamata, for example. And between Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll Fusion, since I will give you a going first board, I will use the El Shaddoll Fusion instead. So starting off, we would normal summon the Alistair, activate the Alistair effect to search for your invocation. I'm just going to go off and do my thing, assuming my opponent would just have no hand traps. So you would search out invocation, and then you would link off your Alistair, summon out your Almirage, link off Almirage for your Secure Gardener, and then you have your El Shaddoll Fusion to activate, or your Shaddoll Fusion, depending on what you open up with, to fuse your Squamata with the Secure Gardener on the field to make Construct an extra monster zone, and then you would chain Squamata, Construct 1, Squamata 2. Squamata to send a monster, then Construct would send any Shaddoll card. So the monster we would send would be Windy, and then the card we would send would be Incarnation. And then Windy would activate in a new chain to special summon any Shaddoll monster from your deck face down. We will bring out the Aerial. So we will now link off the Construct to bring out the Gravity Controller. So just assume your opponent doesn't oh wait, no, I already said that about the hand traps. Never mind. So anyway, Construct would activate if you had your Shaddoll Fusion of any kind added back. If not, don't even bother to activate this the first time, because you don't want to touch this, you want to leave this in your grave. So at this current moment, you would activate Resh Engrave to banish itself and the Construct, to target your face down Aerial and flip it face up. And then since Aerial got flipped face up, Aerial would activate to target any of your banished Shaddoll monsters and special summon them. You would target your Construct and special summon your Construct. So Construct is not a hard one, so upon it being special summon, you would dump yet another Shaddoll spell or trap. So for this time around, you're going to dump your Shaddoll Schism. So some people typically would link to go into Verte. I play the Mech Knight engine in here, obviously, so if I opened up with Mech Knights and I was able to play around and bring out Mech Knights in this play, I would bring out Morning Star if I had Morning Star. Alistair link early on before this came out, if possible. You know, just little neat extenders in between if able to, go for it. But for this, I would link off the Construct Aerial. Some people would bring out Verte. I don't own one, so I'm going to bring out the Alistair instead. So you have the Construct activating to target your Shaddoll Schism added to your hand. Okay? And then you have your invocation to activate. So with that, you would banish out your Alistair from grave, and either you can send Wendy, get a rage in, have the interruption to like flip your opponent's monsters face down if you wanted to. Kaliga to really shut off the monster effects from activating, or you can bring out the Macabre for the negation depending on your matchup, and of course that also depends on the rest of your hand also. So I guess options here, whatever you want to do. So I guess I would go for the Rage in play, because at this moment, after you fusion summon, the Alistair is going to activate. So you're going to add either a invocation from your deck to your hand, or you're going to add a Book of the Law. Typically I would add an invocation, but since I don't, I'm going to get Book of the Law. And then you have your invocation cycle, so you can target your Alistair to add it back to your hand from your banishment, and then shuffle your invocation back into the deck. And then going on into your end turn, you have the option of, if you want to just set your Book of the Law to tag out your Rage in after you flip something face down for either your Kaliga or Macabre. And then you have the Schism. Depending on how this goes, you can interrupt your opponent on what they're doing after that with a Winda to lock them into one special summon. And then sending a face-up element of the same. If you do happen to go into the Macabre, it's not really going to hurt, because since this is treated as a fusion summon, you can also search out your invocation, so if you have to negate a monster effect by discarding this, it's not going to hurt by losing out on that. Having to negate a spell wouldn't really hurt, because you still have a way to fuse in your hand off of the Alistair to search out the invocation from your deck. And yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. Hope you have a good one. And yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more if you guys enjoyed this type of stuff and want to see more. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Like and subscribe to Metagame. Hit the bell icon. Jogging up all night, you. Would you like Yu-Gi-Oh?